So the story of Witchduck Road is actually named after a practice that was used to torture people who were accused of witchcraft called ducking, where people would be held underwater to try to extract a confession of witchcraft. Hi, I'm Stephanie Richmond. I'm an associate professor of history at Norfolk State University. I've been here since 2012, and I teach early American and women's history in the Department of History and Interdisciplinary Studies. It was widely thought that witches would float if you threw them in water. And so if a woman, they would throw her in, sometimes tied to stones, and if she was able to swim, she was considered to be a witch, and they would continue to torture her to see if they could extract a confession. So here in Hampton Roads, there was a woman who fit the profile of many of the women who were accused of witchcraft, right? She was a midwife, right? So she held a position of power and authority in the female community. She also owned some land and did not have a male protector. She was either widowed or had never married. I believe she was, in this case, she was a widow. And so one of her neighbors wanted her land and saw her as a threat. She was also, an older woman and a little grumpy by all accounts. And so she was accused of being a witch. The church decided to duck her to see if they could extract a confession or determine that she was not a witch. The way you figured out that someone was not a witch is if you ducked them and they drowned. So, if you died, you were innocent and you would go to heaven, but you were dead, right? And if you lived, you were accused of being a witch. So in this case, she lived, and for whatever reason, they let her go. That she did not confess to being a witch, but they let her go, and she did eventually lose her property over the accusation. There's a statue now of her in front of the building that stands on the grounds of the church that she belonged to on Witchduck Road, and then Witchduck Pond. That's actually where this all happened in Hampton, over in Virginia Beach. And so, there are lots of versions of this story. I know the Virginia Beach Public Library website has a good tale of it, but there are a lot of versions, and very few of them are backed up by actual historical records. But this is not an uncommon story. In Salem, many of the people were killed, right? They were either pressed to death when they would pile stones on their chests, or they were hung after being accused of being a witch and refusing to confess.